Ready, set, up!
I'm probably gonna have to talk over this whole gym session because there was some music in the background and I'm not really wanting to get monetized for that. Though right now I'm just doing some sport specific modified one arm row. It's more like modified for kayaking because I don't know, we use more of our like back muscles, lats, and even lower lat and leg. So I mean it's basically lifting it with my leg and my lower lat and then kind of easing it back down and doing some wipers that I was telling you guys about. It's a pretty common kayaker movement. A lot of rotational, a lot of rotational work. And then you gotta hit legs. I mean,
Let's go, baby.
I feel like a lot of kayakers skip legs, but I feel like it's just good for overall strength and explosiveness, especially when you're doing sprints. You gotta have that fast twitch. So I'm doing slow down, pause,
Come on, back.
and then exploding back up to the top. Trying to use the best technique
Let's
possible.
go, man.
But I went with my buddy to the gym, good old Frage, and he pushes me pretty good in the gym. We're a good team, so I really enjoy lifting with friends. I'm shaking pretty bad. My hip flexor's pretty worn out from the squats, but other than stretching, this is a good way to strengthen those hip flexor muscles. I'm holding my core just to make sure I'm keeping it tight and sitting straight up, just to make sure it's engaged and whatnot. Then I got my single leg RDLs. I like to hit these, one for balance, and two, it gets that hamstring and ankle support muscles. So a lot of stability going on here. It's not really the easiest motion, but with practice,
Stay tight.
starting off with lightweight. I mean, I'm only doing, I think, like a 30 pound, 35 pound weight, but I started off with like a 15, built my way up. And keep a slight bend in the knee just to engage those hamstrings. Trying to keep the hip closed off.
Stay with it.
Cameraman Josh Frazier helping me out today in the gym. My man's got to go to work now, but we got some good work in today. All right, brother.
Good to see you.
Pretty work. Now I'm pretty much just wasting time, picking a little bit, waiting on my practice to roll around at 3. Gonna go for a paddle, good push on the water. Today's perfect. It's nice and sunny. It's like mid-50s and it's no wind, so it's gonna be pretty glassy out there. But it's one of my favorite hobbies. Just play the guitar. It kind of just calms me down a little bit. Takes my mind into a different realm. Playing a song I usually play. I mean, there's always that one song everyone likes to play, but I've been playing around with some new sounds lately. I think finger picking style is probably my favorite. I just like feeling the strings with my fingers more than a pick, but trying to get a little better at like strumming and picking at the same time. But you know, I took lessons when I was younger for a couple of years, but I'm pretty much self-taught. Just kind of do different things. Now I'm messing around with a new sound I've been playing with. If you're wondering what type of guitar I have a Yamaha Trans Acoustic, so it's got a speaker built inside. Kind of amplifies the sound, amplifies the notes a little bit. But when the speaker's off, it just sounds like a normal guitar. So turning it on changes the game. It's battery powered. Yeah, I've been messing around with a couple new songs I'm making. I mean, I don't really write a lot of my own music, but I've just started to try to write some. I hadn't really. It's really hard to put the words with the notes for me, but like I can do them separately. Like I could write a whole song with words, and then write a whole song with the notes. But putting those together is what's hard. So I guess what's easiest for me is starting off with the notes, and then kind of finding a rhythm, a tempo, and then trying to match the words to the tempo. But I know some people do it the other way around, where they start with the lyrics first and then they find a tempo to go with it. But I find it easier to kind of just pick a tune and then kind of hum along whatever the lyrics are, and try to make it match with the rhythm. I wouldn't say I'm the greatest player, but I'm trying to get better. There's a lot of my buddies are a lot better than me, but when we come together, it's a lot of fun playing. So it's probably one of my favorite things to do right here. So before a paddle, you know, playing the guitar, taking a nap, doing something relaxing is probably that's the way I roll. I really like to get too psyched before going on the water, you know, trying to stay loose, and it takes a lot of mental focus. So if I'm, you know, stressing myself out or psyching myself up, trying to get hyped, that wears my brain out. I need my brain to be, you know, fully charged for these type of intense focused sessions. But as you can tell, the water is just perfect today. And then there's the grandstands. We got a new pavilion, new boathouse. Everything's coming up. We're moving in February 9th. So I'm gonna have a video full tour of the new boathouse once we move in. Gonna go through every floor, and well, every floor they let me go in. The boathouse is not just like, it's not just for paddling, it's a whole wedding venue type deal. So any of you out there looking to get married, it'd be a great spot. It's like one of the best sunsets probably in the state, I have to say. The sun sets right over the water, and the boathouse looks over that section of the bay. Not really a bay, but the kind of like more open area. But today was like the first day of the year where I'm kind of bringing it up to a relaxed tempo. Not really pushing it all out. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd say it's about a 7. So slowly building it up from like or maybe a 7 to an 8, probably an 8. Say I got, 2 more gears left in me. But, the process of paddling and track and running, it's all kind of the same. You kind of build up throughout the year. Throughout the winter and fall season, you're just working on technique and the basics, and then you slowly start to bring it up towards spring and summer, and by, end of spring, summer, you're pretty much maxing out. So, if you're training, or I don't know, I'm not going to be the one to tell you how to train, but you definitely want to pace yourself through a season. You don't really want to start off the first month super hard and kind of, if it's a long season, then you don't want to just burn out. Kind of got to hold yourself back a little bit. But I'm not the person to tell you how to train. You're going to have to find your own way to what works best for you. But so yeah, getting to the end of January, this is the first kind of pickup deal, picking up the speed. It was pretty flat in the beginning, then the wind started picking up a little bit. It's pretty typical for this time of year. It can be pretty windy in Georgia, January, February, March, April. It's like the windiest times of the year. And we also have tornadoes and stuff like that. So, hoping that not going to have too much wind like that, but it is what it is. The wind's gonna be there, and if it's gonna be there, then you're gonna have to deal with it. Just kind of take it. Can't take it for granted. You always can take practice in the wind. Can't hurt you. But ideally, the best technique sessions are in flat water. Some people think the ocean can help a lot, which I believe it can, especially at high speeds. But if you're trying to go slow, like a slow pace, technical pace, the ocean is not the ideal place for that, unless you're, maybe in a really stable boat. But in a thin, fast sea kayak, you're not. You're gonna get your best technical work at high speeds. It's not really ideal.